may be seated. We come to that point in our order of worship where we come before the Lord in prayer. This is an opportunity that we have to lift up our joys, our concerns, our thanksgivings, and bring them before God's throne of grace. As we come together this morning, let's continue to remember these persons in our prayer. Irene Black, Paula's mom, they discovered that she had had a couple of slight strokes this week. So she is recovering from that. So please keep Irene and Paula in our prayers. Also, Peggy Beverly wants us to continue to remember her brother George. Rosa Hamrick would like us to continue to remember her nephew Dick in our prayers. Kathleen McClanahan, or Kathy McClanahan. I call her Kat. Is it Kathleen or Kathy? Kathy, but we call her Kat. Okay. I just know the nickname. I got to thinking, what is her real name? Kat McClanahan, her father-in-law, Jerry. She wants us to continue keeping him in our prayers. Nancy Kilgore, keep her sister Wilma in our prayers. And Kathleen, Sue had her surgery yet? Sue's still scheduled to have that sinus surgery again. So those are the things that I know about this week. What else do we need to lift up in prayer this morning? David Burke. What else? Christy?
If you could remember my parents, please. They'll be traveling Thursday of this week in the evening and night, and then traveling back the following Monday. They're coming down to help me with Home Craft Days this coming weekend. So I will put them to good work on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But they'll travel down the interstate, and that gets treacherous sometimes. And just I'll let Nancy cover it in detail, but just a joy for everything for yesterday. It was just such a great celebration, and appreciate everybody's help that helped us with concessions and everything else that we had going on.
Okay. Evan?
Just be thinking of all those of the college community that be traveling this week as we're on fall break and people are going home or on vacation.
Okay. Dale?
I have a praise today. I'm thankful to and blessed to announce that my grandson Matthew, his problem is healed, and he started a job. The doctor released him to go to work, and he's in Baltimore, Maryland. Started a new job this past Tuesday, and we're so grateful to the Lord and to those who prayed for him.
Amen. Dottie down here, Joe. Dottie Allen.
This is kind of an ongoing thing with Ben's sister, who will be 96 on Halloween. But she had 2 falls this week. One sent her to the hospital, and now they think she has pneumonia, so keep her in your prayers. Her name is Frances Allen.
Okay, I'm still right. Back behind, okay. Several, I'll go ahead.
My first story is sitting in front of me, starting with the movie and all that you did this week and yesterday. It's amazing to me that how many in this room are involved in so many circles and blessings that you gave to this community. Thank you.
Okay, somebody else back here?
Well, yesterday was a blessing, and I think we really, really need to acknowledge that Adri was the start of all this. And if it hadn't been for her, we wouldn't have been having the big thing that we had yesterday. I do have a prayer request. My cousin, Kyle Mullins, who lives in Jonesville, his wife passed away, and he has no other family. Essentially, he's got one brother, and they were in their mid-80s, and he's got me and my sister and another cousin in Pennington, and that's essentially it. But he and his wife were married over 60 years, and just pray for him because he really needs your prayers.
Okay. Somebody, Diane?
John Nichols. I don't know if any of you know Stacy Bryington, Archie and Debbie Bryington's daughter. Her husband had some, he's diabetic, had some eye issues, and had to surgery, so it was pretty serious. So if you'll pray for him that he will recover and his sight will be what it needs to be.
So we're praying for John.
John Nichols.
John Nichols, okay? Bill?
Excuse me. Continue praying for Judy. She's having one thing right after another. We're hoping that this one, if we can get it quick, might take care of it. Anyway.
Okay. Nancy? Better watch the volume on this one.
Kim's got one. Nancy's coming.
Go 2 years, Kim. Go.
No.
You can tell them for me. My mom and dad are traveling back tomorrow from Jekyll Island. They've been what I call on their 60th honeymoon. And, the roads that way are terrible. So just pray for their safe coming back. I think they're coming up through Atlanta.
Okay.
But just remember.
Keep Kim's mom and dad in their prayers as they travel back from Jekyll Island.
Well, I'm just really beyond thrilled with my church. I really am. I'm so very joyous, happy, proud of what you all have done, this week. It has just been a blessing for me to see everybody, pitch in and help. And for a joyous occasion, I do have to give a shout out to Christy and David and Kathy and Beth and Joe and Wendy and Brandon and Donna, and a whole bunch of others. But let me tell you something, and Jacob and Andrew, they worked themselves to death yesterday in that. And Dennis, where's Dennis? Dennis! They worked themselves to death yesterday at that. At our concessions, and it was just wonderful. It just really was. But we did everybody helped at the pancake breakfast, and I'm not leaving anybody out because everybody that I'm looking out here and seeing, I saw at some point yesterday doing something, so I'm so proud and happy, and that everybody just pitched in, and I'm so proud of the whole church for doing everything. And I'm at a loss for words, I know.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Dr. Fleener's back there laughing. But, and let me tell you something. I love Wendy and Brandon. If you all saw the float, they had the best time, and I'm telling you, Paul Wilson even jumped off the car and said, I have got to get a picture with y'all. They were, they had the best time, and they were just great. And everybody, and there was Daniel and Addison and Alberta and Ann and Sandra and Crystal. I'm telling you, it was fun. And Joe drove he drove it up there, did all that and stuff, and they just worked hard, and everybody, and I know I'm taking a long time, but I know, but I'm just so proud, and I'm so thrilled, and I knew everybody would pitch in. It's just absolutely, been amazing. I've loved every minute of it. Everybody, we were out in the street. I wasn't, but if Kenny hadn't have given me the back brace, I don't know where I'd have been. And Steve was washing dishes. It was kind of funny. And Jesse and Beth, I'd holler and stuff at Beth, and she'd bring me stuff and everything. But it's just wonderful. You all are wonderful. I love all of you. I truly do. I mean, just everything you've done. The ladies that worked hard at the Fox House and did all that, and you know, I'm just very, very proud and of everybody. But now then, there's the downside here. We got to clean all this mess up. And I love you, but I expect people here, and I'm going to say 2:30, because we've got to undo the float. We've got to go to Mutual and get the machines, and we've got to clean them. And then I'll have to get them back up there, you know, Monday and stuff like that. So I need as much help as I can possibly get over here about 2:30, just to help me, you know, unlock my car. The only vacant place in my car is the driver's seat. So I really would appreciate, you know, any help that could be here. And I need some men here to lift and stuff, so, and put up. So, but I want you all to just give yourselves a great big hand, because you all did them absolutely. And Debbie back there, she's worked hard too. And I know everybody. No, I don't want anything. No, I want you all. No, I want you all to give yourselves a big hand, because I am truly very, very proud of this whole church and how everybody has just pitched in and done and helped and everything, and it's just been wonderful. So I love all of you. I thank all of you. I appreciate all of you. And I'm done, I guess.
Well, I have one thing to say. Our preacher was a real trooper, riding a float backwards the entire road down with that float, just hanging on to that little thing. And he didn't fall, and he didn't throw up, because he was riding a ride backwards, you know. I mean, that is a real feat. And I was proud of him and Debbie and all the boys. I mean, if we didn't have this kind of church family and this kind of church pastor and his family, they helped make yesterday very, very successful, because, I mean, every one of her boys were doing something all the time, and Debbie was right there in the middle of it. So I am just grateful for them.
Let me say one more thing. And even though they're not here today, you need to talk to Jack Mack, Michael Mary Beth Allen, and me. Just the nucleus of you were our stretch out. You were our people who helped us accomplish this goal. Don't think that you weren't important, because you were. We just gotta make this town work. Do this.
Anything else we need to lift up? Keep Josephine, my area, in our prayers.
Good to see Bill Woods back this morning.
We're glad that Bill's here, and his daughter Sharon.
And Jesse Hagan and that beautiful girl beside him.
Jesse. And was it Kayla? I'm glad that you're with us. What else? Well, let's go before the Lord in prayer. Most gracious God, sometimes we come into those busy points of life when so many things seem to be happening, when so many things have to be accomplished, when we just sort of wonder if we're going to be able to get to the next point or get to the next place or do the next thing that has to be done. And we are entering into one of those now in the life of our church. You are giving us opportunities, Lord, to be in our community in ways that we don't normally have. You're giving us opportunities to witness in ways that don't come around very often. And we just ask that your Spirit would be upon us, thanking you for the ways of witness that we had yesterday, and thanking you for the ways over the next 4 weeks that we're still going to have opportunities to be bearers of the light, to be bearers of the good news, to maybe just touch one person's life. But that one person's life will be worth it if they come to know you. And so, most gracious God, we just thank you that you are a God that was in the midst of the crowds. Wherever your son went, it seemed like there was a crowd there around him. And as we read the stories in the New Testament of his life, and it seems as if he found ways to minister to them, that he found ways to recognize the people that were around him. Maybe as the stories like the woman that touched his cloak and he knew that she was there, or the people that came asking for healing and he reached out and healed, or those that came hungry that he provided food for. Lord, we just thank you that you have put us in the position of being your arms and legs, of being your representatives in this world. Help us to continue to do that, to continue to make your good news known through all the things that we say, through all the things that we do. Help us, most gracious God, to give you the glory for all the things, as we sang. To God be the glory, great things he has done. Help us, most gracious God, to understand that it all revolves around you and what you have done through your Son, Jesus Christ, in our lives, so that we can be a blessing to others. Be with each of those persons and situations that we have mentioned in our prayer time this morning, and just let your Spirit bring them healing and peace and comfort, and let us be there as well. We ask all this in the name of Christ, who has taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.